One of the perks of homeownership is being able to create your own outdoor living space. And here today with me is my good friend Sarah, who's done just that.
Today I want to talk to you about why living in Bakersfield, even when it's really hot, is a beautiful thing if you want to create your own outdoor living space. And I'll tell you why. We have an extremely long growing season in Kern County. So today I want to talk to you about 5 vegetables that grow beautifully in the heat right here in Bakersfield. So first, let's talk about the 5 vegetables that I recommend for our very, very arid, hot climate here in Bakersfield and in Kern County. Come on. So one of the first and easiest vegetables to grow here are beans. So I constructed this very DIY, easy, inexpensive bean tunnel. It's more like a bean jungle now, out of bamboo poles and jute twine. There's quite a few flowers mixed in. Sunflowers, zinnias, cosmos, you name it. And then amidst all of the chaos, you will find some beautiful beans. Over here, mixed in with all these wonderful flowers, I have some tomato plants. Some beautiful tomatoes. This one's just starting to turn. The nice thing is if you're worried about bugs beating you to your tomatoes, you can pick them and put them on your windowsill until they're ready to eat. I have some cherry tomatoes. They do extremely well for the most part, as long as they're given enough water. And for extra credit, you can even shade them and they'll do even better in this hot climate. Okay, let's talk about one of my favorite, absolute favorite plants to grow in this summer heat, squash. Come on, come and check out this beautiful squash. I have this squash trellis that my husband made me a couple years ago. We have 2 different kinds of squash growing on it. This is called tatum squash or calabacitas, which in Spanish is just for little squash. It's actually grown quite a bit in Mexico because it's very versatile and it can handle the heat. So if you pick it when it's about baseball size, you can eat it much like you would a zucchini or any other summer squash. But if you wait and you let it get a little bigger, make sure I'm showing you this, eventually this is gonna harden on the vine and then you can eat it as a winter squash, more like a butternut squash or a pumpkin. The second kind of squash I have growing is called buttercup. I don't know if you can see that, but I'm just waiting for the rind to get a little bit harder. Winter squash has a really long shelf life. You don't have to refrigerate it. You can leave it on your counter. Some winter squashes will last for months just sitting on your counter. Let me show you the next plant that I like to grow right now, cucumbers. Come on. So over here, I have what's called an Armenian cucumber. I know it looks a little weird, but trust me, these are a great variety of cucumber to grow in the summer Bakersfield heat. And the reason why, well, they're from a climate, Armenia, that is hot and they like the heat. So as long as they are well watered and fertilized, this plant should hopefully keep giving me beautiful cucumbers. Okay, for the 5th and final vegetable that I recommend for our climate, sweet potatoes. And if you're wondering what this is, well, it's just a sweet potato in a pot. One of the things I like about squash and sweet potatoes and even beans and tomatoes is that you can grow them in containers. So I have this sweet potato growing in this big pot right here. And then over here, I have a sweet potato growing in what's called a grow bag. So as long as you're providing some kind of mulch, I have some decomposing hay in here for mulch, and you're keeping it up off of the hot pavement, providing shade. Sweet potatoes do extremely well in our hot, arid climate. So there you have it, 5 vegetables that love the heat: beans, tomatoes, squash, cucumbers, and sweet potatoes.